Before the whispers, before the crown, before history chose its version, there was her face. Still, golden, unreadable, and impossible to forget. They thought shame would follow her forever. They thought a woman's past could be louder than her future. Theodora would prove them wrong. Constantinople was not gentle. It was marble, sea wind, gold, ambition, and danger. A city where every woman was watched. Theodora did not begin behind palace doors. She began in a public world, where beauty could invite applause, judgment, hunger, and harm. Men watched, men measured, men remembered what served them. But Theodora was already learning how dangerous attention could be. Later, hostile hands would write her story in ink meant to wound. They did not describe her. They tried to stain her. But Theodora listened. She watched how powerful people spoke, how others obeyed, and how a room changed when someone important entered. In silence, she was learning how power worked. In the mirror, beauty was not just something pretty. It was dangerous. It could help a woman rise, but it could also make people watch her, judge her, and blame her more easily. Something in her changed. Fear did not vanish, it sharpened. Theodora began to understand that survival needed strategy. Justinian saw what others underestimated, not only beauty, not only charm. He saw nerve, intelligence, and a woman who could endure power. When Theodora approached the palace, she was not walking into safety. She was walking into a more polished kind of danger. Inside, even silence had rules. Marble reflected rank, gold reflected obedience, and every object knew the language of empire. Before the world saw the empress, women prepared the woman. Combs, oils, pearls, silk, and candlelight became the first tools of reinvention. The comb moved through her dark hair slowly, not to soften her, not to make her beautiful, to begin shaping her into an image the empire would recognize. Loose hair belonged to the private woman. Gathered hair belonged to the court. Theodora's transformation began at the scalp. The attendants worked without noise. Their hands moved with practiced care, knowing what the empire demanded from a woman before she was allowed to appear. Gold waited beside the mirror like a small flame, not decoration, not vanity. A signal that her body was being prepared for ceremony. The thread entered her hair, bright against the dark coils. Piece by piece, gold became part of her public face, as if power itself were being woven close to the skin. Pearls were placed like quiet stars. Each pin held more than hair. It held discipline, rank, and the silent cost of becoming visible to an empire. The purple robe rose around her shoulders, heavy, rich, and final. It did not cover her past. It challenged it, wrapping her in the color of command. In Byzantium, purple was never simply color. It was law made visible, a warning stitched into silk, a sign that this woman now belonged to power. The collar closed around her throat. Gold, stones, and pearls framed the voice others had tried to silence, turning breath itself into imperial presence. The crown waited nearby, beautiful and merciless. Once lifted, it would separate her forever from the woman they mocked, and from the life they thought defined her. For one breath, she sat between two lives. Behind her, rumor. Before her, empire. In the mirror, both remained, but only one would be seen. Then the crown descended. The pearls fell beside her face, like sacred curtains. Theodora did not disappear beneath the jewels. She transformed through them. Now the court would see only what she allowed. A still face, a jeweled silence. A woman no longer asking permission to stand where she stood. The women stepped away. Their work was finished. The private chamber had given the empire its empress, shaped in purple, pearls, gold, and silence. The mirror returned her changed, not innocent, not erased, changed. A woman who had learned how to survive being seen, judged, and remembered. When she entered the corridor, the robe moved like authority behind her. Every step taught the palace its answer, and every watching face understood. The court watched in silence. Some admired her, some feared her, some remembered the rumors, but under the crown, they lowered their eyes first. This was not vanity. This was strategy. The crown, the pearls, the robe, and the stillness became a shield no whisper could easily pierce. Beside Justinian, Theodora did not fade into ornament. She stood as power beside power, not decoration, but a partner the empire could not ignore. Then Constantinople erupted. Fire, shouting, smoke, and revolt filled the city. The throne itself seemed ready to break, and fear moved through the palace. Inside the palace, men urged escape. Ships could carry them away. A crown could survive in exile, but honor might never find its way back. Then Theodora spoke, calmly, clearly. While others trembled, she reminded them what purple was worth, and what a ruler must be willing to face. In that moment, purple became more than rank. It became courage, danger, and the robe she refused to abandon, even when survival offered another door. When the men around her wanted to flee, Theodora refused. She would rather face death in the palace, wearing imperial purple, than live as an empress who ran away. Because Theodora refused to run, the emperor stayed. The palace did not fall. The throne survived that night, not because of soldiers first, but because one woman had the courage to say, "We stay." Years later, artists began to build her image in gold. They placed tiny tiles by hand, until Theodora was no longer just a woman from history. She became a face the world would still remember. Her eyes returned in stone and glass, not soft, not pleading. Artists gave her the still, powerful face Byzantium wanted the world to remember, a face no gossip could touch. In Ravenna, Theodora stands forever in gold. Crowned, jeweled, and surrounded by women, she no longer looks like someone being judged. She looks like history itself is obeying her. In her hands, she holds a golden chalice. It tells the viewer that she was not just beautiful, not just royal, but part of sacred imperial power. Around her stand women, veiled and watchful, not background. A wall of feminine presence around the woman history tried to shame, but could not remove. The cruel whispers did not vanish in one day, but over time, they grew smaller. The gold remained, the face remained. The woman they tried to shame was still there. Every jewel became an answer. Every pearl became a refusal. Every fold of purple seemed to say, "You may remember what you heard, but you cannot erase what I became." There she remains, dark eyes, crown, pearls, and purple, not explaining herself, not asking to be forgiven, simply staying powerful and unbroken. After she leaves, the chamber feels full of her. The mirror, comb, gold thread, pearls, and candle remain behind, like quiet witnesses to the woman who changed herself into power. Centuries pass, empires fall, voices disappear, but Theodora's image still looks back from the gold, calm and unafraid, as if waiting for history to understand her. They tried to make her past the only story, but Theodora made her image eternal. She does not explain. She does not ask. She remains unbroken.